So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, we are proceeding one step ahead to yesterday's lecture. In yesterday's lecture, I am going for a recap in a quick interval. In yesterday's lecture, we discussed that IELTS writing exam has two tasks to be done by the students in 1 hour. In 1 hour writing exam, students have to do two things. Number one, they have to write a summary as a task number one if they are academic students, and they have to write a letter if they are GT, journal training students. Task 1 will be of 20 minutes on. Task 2 is essay writing, and essay writing will take 40 minutes in total. 5 types of essay topics can be in exam: advantage, disadvantage, problem solution, agree or disagree, opinion, or the two questions. Negative positive view is a subhead or subtitle of the advantage disadvantage, and discussion essay is a part of opinion essay that we also discussed yesterday. The summary, which is task number 1, contributes 33% marks in the total score of writing exam, while essay contributes 66% in the total. Summary 20 minutes, essay 40 minutes, summary 33%, essay 66%. That's what all I discussed yesterday. Today, inshallah, we are going to discuss that how we need to write the essay. Essay writing method is the topic of discussion today. We always write essay in multiple steps. We write essay in 5 steps. We write essay in 5 steps. Step number 1. Step number 1 is known as idea design. Idea design. Idea design. In idea designing, what we do? In idea designing, what we do? In idea designing, number 1, we write some points that we want to write in our essay. In our essay, along with their impacts for cohesion, for cohesion. For example, what do we mean? What do we mean by this? Look at this essay. What this essay says? This essay says that, is it good for children to start using computer from an early age? No, you need to. देखो इस essay को. पहला step है brainstorming, idea generation, idea designing. हम लिखने से पहले सोचते हैं हमें लिखना क्या है. अगर लिखने से पहले नहीं सोचेंगे तो क्या होगा? We will not be sequenced in our writing. हम लिखते हुए सीक्वेंस में नहीं होंगे. हम अब्रप्ट लिखेंगे, सीक्वेंस डिस्टर्ब होएगा, एग्जामिनर डिस्टर्ब होगा, कोहेरेंस टूट जाएगा, नंबर नहीं आएंगे. So first of all, we have to generate the ideas, what we want to write along with their impacts. What do you mean by the impacts? मैं बात जो कर रहा हूं उसका असर क्या है? For an example, if I tell you that whenever you need to go to Saudi Arabia, go by Emirates. जब भी सऊदी अरेबिया जाओ, Emirates पे जाओ. What will happen? You will ask me why? क्यों? But if I will say whenever you need to go to Saudi Arabia, go by Emirates because they have a very good safety record. Now you are not going to ask me क्यों. अब आप मुझसे पूछने नहीं जा रहे क्यों. What is the reason? Reason क्या? Because मैंने अपनी बात को मुकम्मल किया. I have completed my words. Go to Saudi Arabia by Emirates because it has a safety record. It means that I have presented an idea, and along with that idea, I have presented the impact of idea to complete what I'm saying. तो हम ऐसे लिखने से पहले आइडियाज को जनरेट करते हैं along with their impacts कि इसका असर क्या होगा ताकि बात के अंदर कोई if and but why रह ना जाए, which could confuse examiner in thinking that we have written incomplete. ऐसा ना हो कि examiner समझे हमने incomplete लिखा. So now it is the essay in front of you. For example, is it good for children to start using computer from an early age and spend long hours on them? If you see, what is the topic of the essay? Use of computers. What is the topic? Topic is use of computers. So here is the topic. Here is the topic. Here is the topic. What is the focus? Focus is what? Focus is children spending long hours on them. It is the focus. Why I'm writing topic and focus? I will tell you when I will write the next steps of writing this. So now, what is the topic of the essay? The topic of the essay is use of computers. And what is the focus? Children spending long hours on them. I'm going to give them a different color. So what is the topic? Topic is the computers. Use of computer is the topic. What is the focus? Children and spending long hours on the computers. It is topic and focus. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages. So now, this advantage is one side that we need to address. This disadvantage is another side we need to address. So now, what we have done, we have highlighted focus, topic, focus, side number 1 and side number 2 of the essay. Okay. Why I have identified the topic, focus, side 1, side 2. I will be going back on the steps and then there you will come to know that why sir have identified. But it is what we have to do. That in the start, what we will do in step number 1, we will generate the ideas. For an example, if we have to write the essay on advantages and disadvantages of earlier use of computers, we will write some points, 4 points. For an example, 4 ideas about the advantages and their impacts on the question papers back. And then we will write 4 disadvantages along with their impacts on the back of the question paper so that we could be known to हमने लिखना क्या. तो हम सबसे पहले क्या करेंगे? आइडिया डिजाइनिंग. अब अगर हमने ऐसे लिखना है एडवांटेज डिसएडवांटेज का, what should we do? We will write 4 points relating to advantages. We will write 4 points relating to disadvantages. We will write the impact of advantages and impact of disadvantages along with the points on our question paper so that we could be known to this thing. हमें पता हो what we have to write during writing, कि हमें writing के दरमियान क्या लिखना है. When we'll be known to it, तो हम बड़े sequenced होंगे. हम बिल्कुल abrupt writing नहीं करेंगे. So what is step number 1? The step number 1 is that we have to write the points that what we need to write in our essay along with the impacts for cohesion. So what I have told you, जैसे ही topic आए, as soon as you see the topic, you will write the relevant ideas that what you want to write in this essay along with their impacts on your question paper, not on answer sheet. आप लिख लेंगे क्वेश्चन पेपर के ऊपर आइडिया भी और उसका इम्पैक्ट भी क्वेश्चन पेपर के ऊपर साइड पे आंसर शीट पे. सो फर्स्ट स्टेप इज आइडिया जनरेशन. You people should spend 5 minutes. Spend 5 minutes on the idea generation. Spend 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Spend 5 minutes on idea generation. And write these ideas. Write ideas on the side or the back of question paper. Do not write in neat. Just write the hints so that you could be known to this thing that what we need to write in our essay. And this will be a sort of guideline for you when we're writing the essay. So ये आपके अपने ideas आपके लिए guideline बन जाए. So how many minutes we are going to spend? We are going to spend 5 minutes on it. And then we enter into step number 2. What is step number 2? Step number 2 that what we need to work on. Step number 2 is the introduction, right? Introduction. Once we have done introduction, once we are done with the idea generation, we will enter into step number 2, and the step number 2 is the introduction, right? So now, what is introduction? what will happen? What we will do in introduction? Number one, spend 5 minutes. How much minutes we will spend on it? कितने मिनट लगाएंगे इंट्रोडक्शन पे? 5. 5 आइडिया जनरेशन पे, 5 किस पे? इंट्रोडक्शन टाइप. Spend 5. This will contain one paragraph. One paragraph. This will contain one paragraph only. This will contain only one paragraph. Use 5 sentences approach. 5 sentences approach to write your introduction. What do you mean by the 5 sentences approach? The sentence number 1. Sentence 1. This will cover the topic along with the focus. This will cover the topic along with the focus. So that examiner could understand that we have well understood what we need to write, and this will be the best sentence to highlight that we have understood what examiner have asked us, and this will show your task response. ये पहला सेंटेंस इसमें टॉपिक और फोकस दोनों कवर होंगे. अभी जो मैं ऐसे दिखा रहा था आपको, it was on the advantage and disadvantages on children use of computer for long hours. So in introduction's first sentence, we will write something about the computer use in children. We will cover the computer use in children. We will cover computers and we will cover the children using computer for the long hours in the first sentence to show examiner कि हमें समझा है कि टॉपिक क्या है, हमने समझा है कि फोकस क्या है, हमें पता है, ताकि हमारा टास्क रिस्पॉन्स जो है ना वो एग्जामिनर अंडरस्टैंड कर सके. उनको पता है, मींस हमारा टास्क रिस्पॉन्स स्ट्रांग हो. ओके, so the first sentence that we need to write in introduction will be known as S1, and this will cover topic and focus. कुछ लोग कहते हैं ये thesis sentence कहलाता है. मैं किसी टेक्निकलिटी में फंसा के आपको डिस्टर्ब नहीं करना. मैं कह रहा हूँ that we need to follow 5 sentences approach in introduction. The first sentence will cover topic and focus. For an example, use of computer is obligatory nowadays in all ages across the globe, including children. हमने लिखा कंप्यूटर यूज ऑब्लिगेटरी हर उम्र में, बच्चों समेत. सो दिस इज व्हाट एग्जामिनर हैव अंडरस्टूड दैट इसको पता है कंप्यूटर पे लिखना है, इसको ये भी पता है कि फोकस मैंने करना है बच्चों. क्लियर? सो द फर्स्ट सेंटेंस विल कवर टॉपिक एंड फोकस. सेंटेंस नंबर 2. Sentence number 2. This will be on side 1. This will be on side 1. Now you know what do you mean with the side 1. तो ऐसे मैंने अभी आपको हाईलाइट करवाया, मैंने कहा साइड 1 क्या है, एडवांटेज, साइड 2 क्या है, disadvantage. Now you know that what do you mean by side 1. Side 1 was advantage in this essay that I have exemplified. Advantage was side 1 and disadvantage was side 2. It is side 1, it is side 2, it is topic, it is focus. Is it clear? So the second sentence S2, this will be on your side number 1. Side number 1. Okay. If it is advantage, disadvantage essay, the side 1 will be advantage. If it is problem solution essay, the side 1 will be problem. If it is agree, disagree essay, this will be a point of the argument for agreement. If it is an opinion essay, this will contain first argument. If it is 2 question essay, it is 1 question. So side 1 will cover advantage, disadvantage essay, advantage will be side 1. Problem solution, problem will be side 1. Clear or not? If it is agree, disagree, argument for the agreement will be side 1. So right sentence number 2 will be on side 1. Sentence number 3. This will be on side number 2. Why we write both sides in introduction? Because what we will introduce, that we will explain. जो हम introduce कराएंगे वो आगे लिखेंगे ना, explain करेंगे ना हम. इसलिए we will write the both sides in introduction. Problem and solution, we will write one problem in introduction along with one solution. Prime reason, we will write in introduction. The prime solution, we will write in introduction. The prime advantage, we will write. The prime disadvantage, we will write in introduction. Why so? Because this will give a This will give a brief to the examiner that we know what we have to do, and then we will explain the points onward. The sentence number 3, sentence 4. This will be your opinion. Your opinion. Now, irrespective of the essay is opinion essay, or it is two question essay, or it is agree disagree essay, or advantage disadvantage essay, or a problem solution essay. आप क्या कहते हैं इसके बारे में? You will write your opinion in the introduction. Examiner should know that what your mind is thinking. To me, the advantages of computer use are more than the disadvantages. In my opinion, the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. मेरे ख्याल में फायदे ज्यादा हैं नुकसानात की निस्बत. And sentence number 4, sentence 5, it is plan for essay. Plan for essay. आप इस essay में आगे जाके क्या करना चाह रहे हैं? For an example, I will write. For an example, I will write. I will describe. Yeah. I will explain. अब advantage disadvantage दो sides है ना. I will explain the both aspects in detail later in my writing. I will explain the both sides later in this essay. I will write in detail on the both sides later in this writer. So आप उसको बताएंगे examiner को. You will tell examiner what is your plan for the next essay. Next in this essay. क्या plan है आपका अगला इस essay के अंदर? That will be the 5th sentence. And now what we have learned. Step number 2 is introduction. We will follow what? 5 sentences. When we will follow this approach, believe me, we will be at about 80 words. हम तकरीबन 80 words से करीब पहुंच जाएंगे. Need not to get worried about, because what we have discussed yesterday, that how much will be the words load. 250 words will need to write in minimum. कितने वर्ड लिखने हमने essay पे? 250 minimum. Number 2, कितने मिनट्स है हमारे पास? 40 मिनट्स इसको लिखने के लिए. So it is what we have already discussed yesterday. I'm working on a recap. Okay. So now go ahead. Step number 3. We are entering into step number 3 now. So enter into step number 3. And step number 3 that we are going to work on is the writing of the explanation. It is step number 3 and explanation. 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 When we talk about the explanation writing, what do we mean by this? This will be having 2 paragraphs to do. This will be having 2 paragraphs. 2 paragraphs. We will be having 2 paragraphs. So step number 3 is the explanation writing, and we will be having 2 paragraphs to write. So now the first paragraph, para number 1. In para number 1, explain side number 1. Side number 1. So step number 3 will be the explanation. In explanation, we will write 2 paragraphs. The first paragraph of explanation will cover side number 1. Explain side 1 in paragraph. Number 2, write 4 ideas with their impacts. Write 4 ideas with their impacts. Number 3, write 2 examples with any of the ideas. Ideas. Write 2 examples with 4 ideas. किसी 2 के साथ 2 एग्जाम्पल लिख दें यार. आइडिया 1 के साथ एक लिख दें, एक 2 के साथ लिख दें, एक 1 के साथ लिख दें, एक 3 के साथ लिख दें, एक 2 के साथ लिख दें, एक 4 के साथ लिख दें. Out of 4 ideas, it is good to have examples for 2 out of these 4. किसी दो की इन चारों में से साथ एग्जाम्पल दे देते हैं. आइडिया एंड इम्पैक्ट प्लस एग्जाम्पल, आइडिया एंड इम्पैक्ट प्लस एग्जाम्पल, आइडिया एंड इम्पैक्ट, आइडिया एंड इम्पैक्ट. सो दो आइडियाज के साथ इम्पैक्ट के और एग्जाम्पल दे. चारों के साथ इम्पैक्ट लिखना मगर एग्जाम्पल किसी दो के साथ. सो राइट 2 examples with any of the idea or the ideas. And then in para number 2, explain side number 2, write 4 ideas with their impacts. 4 ideas लिखें for side 2. For an example, if it is advantage, disadvantages, say write 4 advantages in explanation para number 1 with 4 impacts of the ideas and 2 examples of advantages. In paragraph number 2 of the explanation, write disadvantages. Write 4 ideas of disadvantages. Write 4 impacts of disadvantages and 2 examples. That is what I'm saying. Write 2 examples with any of the ideas, ideas. For explanation, para 1, spend 10 minutes. For explanation, paragraph number 2, spend 10 minutes. Spend 10 minutes. On both paras, spend 10 minutes each. And then we will enter into step number 4. Step number 4. And this step number 4 will be conclusion. It will be conclusion. When we talk about the conclusion, conclusion. So now, in conclusion, we are going to work on one paragraph. One paragraph. We'll spend 5 minutes. Spend 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We'll spend 5 minutes on it. And we will follow 5S approach as well. We'll follow 5 sentences approach as well. So sentences will be very short. For an example, the sentence number 1 will always be like concluding. The topic. Comma. Sentence number 2. In my personal perspective or point of view. C. Sentence number 3. Maybe a compounding word, however or while, whatever. Sentence number 4 will be from side number 1. Sentence number 5 will be for side number. I'm repeating again. The conclusion is known as a quick refresher. It is known as a quick refresher of all what we have explained above in this essay. It's a quick refresher. So in the refresher, we need to write about the introduction. We need to write about something about the disadvantages as well. Something like advantage, something like a disadvantage. In introduction, we need to write both of them, advantage, disadvantage. Then in one para, we will explain advantages. In second para, we will explain, second para of the explanation, I mean, we will explain the disadvantage. And in conclusion, we should mention one point of advantage, one point of disadvantage, as a quick refresher for the readers that what we have explained, it is the crux of it. Some people think, कुछ लोग कहते हैं यार इंट्रोडक्शन में भी लिख रहे हो एडवांटेज डिसएडवांटेज, एक्सप्लेनेशन में भी लिख रहे हो, कंक्लूजन में भी, पर जिसको इंट्रोड्यूस कराएंगे उसी को एक्सप्लेन करेंगे ना, और जिसको एक्सप्लेन किया है उसकी समरी नहीं बनाएंगे या उसको सम अप नहीं करेंगे नीचे, तो करेंगे उसको, तो इससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। आपने जो आइडिया लिखा है इंट्रोडक्शन में उसको एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं हम एक्सप्लेनेशन में, और उसको हम क्रक्स बना के लिख रहे हैं अपने कंक्लूजन में। तो वन आइडिया कैन बी ऑन द थ्री प्लेसेस, बट ऑब्वियसली तरीका कार लिखने का ठीक है। सो द नेक्स्ट स्टेप नंबर 4, स्टेप नंबर 5, review. Step number 5, review. What do you mean by step number 5, review? Step number 5, review. Spend 5 minutes. Read all what you have written. What you have written. जो कुछ लिखा है सबको पढ़. Read once for all. Read one time more. But all what you have. Why so? Pick up. Pick up any grammar, spelling, sentences error and correct that. What will happen? And during writing, sometimes we omit something. हमसे कोई चीज रह जाती. In review, we will pick that up, we will correct it. अगर ना वो गलत ही आगे चली जाएगी, and that will be very, very drastic for our overall brand destruction. Brand के लिए destructive हो जाएगा. अगर हम एक review में 4 errors भी निकाल देते हैं पूरे essay के अंदर, so that means that we have reduced our essay with the 4 errors. This will be one of the vital characters. This step number 5 will be a vital character in the whole essay writing. So what I have told you, I'm going to recall it, and then I will give you some minutes to look at what you have written, and then I will return further after taking your questions. What all I have written, what all I have written, I'm going to compress it a little so that I could explain it in front of you on a single screen. I have told you that we need to write the essay into 5 different steps. The step number 1 is the idea generation. The step number 1 is idea generation, in which what we do, we take up the topic of the essay, we look into the focus, we look into the sides, and we keep writing. We do write on the sides of the question paper that what points we are going to cover in this essay. हम इस essay में कौन-कौन से points को लिखने वास्ते जा रहे हैं. Spend 5 minutes and use the question paper front or back. And then step number 2 will be introduction. Spend 5 minutes, 1 paragraph, and use 5S approach. Sentence number 1 will cover the topic and focus. Sentence number 2 will be from side number 1. Sentence 3 will be side number 2. Sentence number 4 will be your opinion. And sentence number 5 will be your plan for the essay, for the further coming paragraphs. And then it should be at about 80 words when we complete it. We will be somewhere at 80 words when we will finish it up. Step number 3 is the explanation writing. In explanation writing, we'll be having 2 paragraphs. In 2 paragraphs, the first paragraph will contain explanation of side 1. Advantage, disadvantage, this side will be of advantage. Problem, solution, this will be the side of problems. Agree, disagree, maybe point of agreement. 2 arguments, 1 argument. Will be argument number 1 will be. So this paragraph will explain one side of the essay. We will take up 4 ideas with their impacts along with 2 examples, and we'll spend 10 minutes. Paragraph number 2 will contain second side, 4 ideas, 4 impacts, 2 examples, 10 minutes. Then we will enter into step number 4, conclusion. 1 paragraph, 5 minutes, 5 sentences, concluding the topic in my personal perspective. However, side one's biggest advantage, side two biggest disadvantage, side one biggest problem, side two the biggest solution. We will keep writing things here, and it will be conclusion. Once the conclusion is over, we will enter into step number 5. What is step number 5? Get a review. Read the whole what you have written, and while reading the whole what you have written, remove your grammar, spelling, sentences, errors, and correct them. This will help you out in enhancing, elevating your band score overall. Spend 5 minutes on it. Now you are having 2 to 3 minutes with you. Just look into what all I have written, and then if there is any question, I would be very happy to answer those questions, and then I will proceed further for the bifurcation. Once the question will be over, then I will be writing the bifurcation of the paragraphs and timeline. I will design a timeline as well. So now, in this way, we have concluded that step number 1, idea designing. Step number 2 is introduction writing. Step number 3 is explanation writing with 2 paras. Para 1, side 1, para number 2 will explain side number 2. Here, I should write one thing more for you people is that if you will follow 4 ideas, 4 impacts, and 2 examples formula, this will give you at about 120 words in your paragraph number 1, and for paragraph number 2, this will give you about 100 words. And for the conclusion, I'm telling you, this will give you somewhat at 45 words if you will follow these formulas, and your overall essay will turn on something 325 words. It will be plus minus 10 words at 325 words will be the total length of your essay. A good candidate writes in this way, I'm telling you. Listen up. अब एक अच्छा जिम्मेदार स्टूडेंट हो और चार आइडियाज पर इम्पैक्ट के साथ और 2 एग्जांपल के साथ चलता हो तो इंट्रोडक्शन होगा तकरीबन 80 वर्ड्स का, 120 वर्ड का पैराग्राफ नंबर 1 ऑफ एक्सप्लेनेशन, पैराग्राफ नंबर 2 ऑफ एक्सप्लेनेशन 100 वर्ड्स का, और जो आपका कंक्लूजन होगा ना वो तकरीबन 45 वर्ड्स पे जाएगा. So now I'm going to work on number of paragraphs in any specific essay. So there are total 4 paragraphs. Paragraph number 1. Para 1 will be your introduction. Para 1 will be your introduction. So it is your para 1. Para 1 is the introduction. So para number 2 will be your explanation 1. Para number 3 will be your explanation para 2. It will be para number 3 will be your explanation side number 2. And paragraph number 4 of the essay will be conclusion. Paragraph number 4, it is the conclusion. So now I'm going to tell you once again. So overall in an essay, how many paragraphs will be there? There will be 4 paragraphs. Paragraph number 1 will be introduction. Paragraph number 2 will be explanation for side 1. Paragraph number 3 will be the explanation of side number 2. And paragraph number 4 will be the conclusion. Total 4 paragraphs will be there. How the time will be bifurcated? How the time will be bifurcated? We will spend 5 minutes on idea generation. 5 minutes on idea generation. We will spend 5 minutes on introduction. We will spend 10 minutes on writing explanation in explanation of side 1 in para number 2 of the essay. 10 minutes. We will again spend 10 minutes on paragraph number 3, in which we will write side 2 of the essay. We will explain the side 2. And then we'll spend 5 minutes on writing the last paragraph of the conclusion. And we will spend 5 minutes on the overview. 5 minutes on the overview. So now if I accumulate them, if I make them together, 5 minutes on the idea generation, 5 minutes on the introduction, 10 minutes, 10 minutes on explanation of side 1, 20 minutes, 10 minutes on the explanation of side number 2, 30 minutes, 5 minutes on the conclusion, 35 minutes, 5 minutes on the review. Total 40 minutes are allocated in this way. We will spend 30 minutes on writing, 5 minutes on initial idea generation and 5 minutes on the review. उर्दू में टोटल एसे के 4 पैराग्राफ्स होंगे. पहला पैरा इंट्रोडक्शन, दूसरा पैरा एक्सप्लेनेशन साइड नंबर 1, तीसरा पैरा एक्सप्लेनेशन साइड नंबर 2, चौथा पैरा कंक्लूजन. टाइम कैसे लगेगा? 5 मिनट आइडिया जनरेशन पे, 5 मिनट इंट्रोडक्शन पे, 10 मिनट हो गए. 10 मिनट एक्सप्लेनेशन साइड 1 पे 20 मिनट, 10 मिनट एक्सप्लेनेशन साइड नंबर 2 पे 30 मिनट, 5 मिनट अपॉन द कंक्लूजन 35 मिनट, 5 मिनट अपॉन द रिव्यू, टोटल हो गए 40 मिनट. इन दिस वे we will write the essay in total 40 minutes time, and we will write the essay into 4 paragraphs. Do not consider somebody says 5 paragraphs. IELTS journal essay writing book says that an ideal candidate should write the IELTS writing essay into 4 paragraphs, and that is the best method. Introduction, explanation, and the conclusion. If there is any question, I would be very happy to answer that question.